Hey, this is Stephanie.
And I'm Nina.
And you're listening to Live by the Spirit podcast.
What's up?
Hi.
This is so awkward. I feel like I don't know what to say.
I know. Hi, guys. Welcome to our first Live by the Spirit podcast.
Yes.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Nina.
And yeah, welcome to the show.
This should be interesting.
It should be interesting. Yeah. I think for this first podcast, I don't expect this first podcast to be long at all. I think we just kind of wanted to get together and kind of do an introduction, read to you our, mission statement, why we feel like why we want to do this. Also maybe kind of explain how we met and how we know each other.
Yeah.
And, kind of just like our feeling of Jesus calling this on us and all the excitement that's going to come from it. So,
yeah. Do you want to share the mission statement? Or do you want me to?
I can. Do you want?
I don't care. I'm down for whatever.
Let me do it. So our mission statement is: join two young women who are in the world but not of the world. Listen as we share our struggles and stories of what it means to be a young Christian today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the description is, this is going to be a podcast for the young Christians here in the world, living their lives but also wanting to live those lives with a purpose. So each week we'll discuss a specific topic from a Christian perspective. So listen in as we enjoy and do our best to help you live your life living by the Spirit.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, do you want to talk about like how we met first, or like our calling, like, and how we felt like Jesus was guiding us? Which one do you think we should do first?
Let's do how we met first.
Okay. Do you want to start that, or do you want me to start that?
I feel like it's weird because I don't remember specifically meeting you.
I think the first time I met you was when you were hiding in the car. I think that was the first time we ever physically met.
So? I just remember, like, I knew who you were, and then all of a sudden there was just one time that I was staying at your apartment.
Yeah.
Was that time?
Maybe. You might have stayed at Megan's. So basically what we're talking about, kind of clued you guys in. I went to school with Nina's brother, Jonah. Actually, Jonah was probably one of the first people that I not only met but became friends with. And I used to always joke, Jonah and I, at least our first semester of our freshman year of college, we weren't necessarily like best buds, but we would always run into each other. If I saw him in the lunch room, we would eat together. He used to work at the counter in the communications office. So I would always see him when walking to class. And so we became buds. And I think the second semester is when we got a lot closer, and, we would hang out all the time, and I'm super thankful for his friendship. But obviously through Jonah, he'd always talk about his sister Nina, and I told him, if she's ever in town and needs a place to stay, she's welcome to crash with me. I don't think you crashed with me ever freshman year. Did you remember crashing in a dorm at all freshman year?
No, I don't think No, freshman year, I don't think I did. It might have been sophomore year.
Yeah, so we have a friend named Megan Christopher. Mm-hmm. What's her new married name? I don't know. Megan, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry.
Hold on. Megan.
Starts with an M. Is it Malcolm?
Yes.
Megan Malcolm.
No, wait, no. Meacham.
Oh my gosh. We're so sorry, Megan.
Sorry, Megan.
In my defense, you will always, always, always be Megan Christopher to me. But
she's going to listen to this and be like, wow, you guys were literally at my reception.
You were at my wedding. You met my husband. We love you guys,
That's
Megan.
So
I love you so much. But Jonah and I have a mutual friend, Megan, that we also met in college, who we love. She had like a destination wedding, and Jonah got invited. We were where was it? It was in Gatlinburg, right?
Yes.
And then our friend Tyler was a bridesmaid.
It was bridesman.
It
was awesome.
So we love Megan so much. Maybe one of these days we can get her on the podcast. She is such a amazing human being, and I love her. She is an interior designer, and I cannot wait to move into my first home, because our friend Donovan does like all things construction. So he's going to help design, and then Megan's going to decorate my entire house. So
wow, you've already got it planned out.
I got it planned. I'm going to use my resources.
Hey, you got 14 months left in your lease?
Yeah. first I need to, I'd like to be married before I move into a house.
First.
We need to find me a man, find you
nice,
a man.
godly man.
Nice, godly man. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of how we met. We met through Jonah, and then there was one time, I believe the first time we physically met. Your mom, I don't remember if your mom reached out to Megan or to me, but we got word that I think it was for Jonah's birthday. Jonah's birthday's in December. Maybe it wasn't Jonah's birthday.
I don't think it was Jonah's birthday. Maybe it was the end of freshman year. Honestly, it might have been.
Maybe.
I think it was the end of freshman year because I remember it wasn't cold outside.
Yeah. But anyways, we got word that your dad wanted to surprise Jonah with you being there.
Yeah.
And so we kind of were in the loop on the secret, and we kind of just had to kind of hide it from Jonah. And so I believe you were probably staying with Megan, or maybe you were staying in a hotel.
I think I stayed with Megan.
Yeah. But anyways, it was super exciting, and it was the first time I got to meet Nina, and my job was to get Jonah to the car. That was my job.
I was like smushed in the back.
Let me tell you, trying to get Jonah Trank anywhere without telling him the purpose
is like, why?
He wants to, and I mean, I completely understand. He does not like to, I don't know if it's necessarily he doesn't like to be surprised, but he's just like, I don't think he it was one of those moments where he's like, I do not trust you.
Yeah, probably.
So, but anyways, we got him there, and I just remember we were all so excited. We were filming, and he opens the door, and absolutely no enthusiasm.
No. He was just like, oh, hey.
He was like, oh, you're here.
I was like, wow.
And I remember I was like, Jonah, it's your sister.
I was so upset.
Like,
it's fine.
Typical, like, 18, 19-year-old boy. No, he was 19 by that point, probably.
We have much better relationship now than we did then.
Yes. So, which Jonah is actually about to move here to Nashville, where we're from.
Thank goodness.
So we'll definitely have him on the podcast here from time to time. He is also single, ladies. So if you're looking for a nice Christian man,
you won't find him on any social medias.
No, which is honestly refreshing. We have a lot of our guy friends right now who are not on social media.
Well, Jonah literally wants to. He would get a flip phone if he didn't enjoy
iMessage,
the FaceTime.
Yes,
like he literally deletes all social media. He literally can't even go on Safari. Did I tell you that? He legit cannot go on Safari. He can't open email links. No
what
joke.
A guy.
He has it password protected. His friend did it. Eam did it. So like basically he can't do anything.
What a guy, Eam.
He's getting married.
Fun fact. So Jonah has this friend named Eam.
His name is Andrew Eames, but we call him Eam
and it's
short.
It's like Jonah's childhood best friend. It's his best friend. I have only met him physically 1 or 2 times.
Because he came down one time. We surprised Jonah with Eam for his...
Yes.
No, it was in February.
Which he was very excited to see Eam.
Yes, he was so excited to see him.
But,
that was sophomore year.
Yeah, but, I think, so other than that, and then Megan's wedding, but Jonah, like, I feel like I know Eam because of all the times that Jonah talk about Eam. What a guy, also.
But, yeah, what I was going to say was, I feel like after college and everything... I then moved here. So fun fact, I lived in New York my whole life, Buffalo, New York, until June, end of June. And then we started hanging out mid-July.
Yeah.
July 10th was the first time we hung out.
We should backtrack. So back in like January of
it was your
2022, you texted me happy birthday. And then you kind of sent me a text saying, so I'm thinking about moving to Nashville. And I was like, what? You're thinking about moving to Nashville? And I think you and I in passing had maybe talked about it once or twice. Maybe you DM'd me or something like that. And I feel like at that point we had been like very, very good acquaintances, like on the verge of acquaintance to friend.
Yeah.
And because of how much I love your brother, I was like, I love Nina and I love your whole family. So, but you were like, I'm thinking about moving to Nashville. We're going to come in February for me to like, see
if I like it.
See if you liked it. Look at some apartments. Jonah was going to come. So that was really exciting because that was the first time I'd seen Jonah since. So fun fact, Jonah and I were in the graduating class of 2020. COVID year. So it was the first time I had seen Jonah since right before spring break of 2020.
Yes.
And so it was nice to get to see him. Our other friend, Kaylee, was also in town that week. So it was just like a nice little reunion.
Yeah.
And then you were able to tour some apartments and just
looked at some apartments,
look at some schools.
Yeah. Because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And so I got that. We went home. I was home for 3 days. came right back for a job interview.
Yeah.
Job fair, did all that, met a ton of people, school-wise. Then I went home like 24 hours later and then moved in June 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been here ever since. And the first time we hung out, fun fact, was July 10th.
You remember the day?
Yes, we went to the drive-in with Jude and Nick, and we saw Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh my gosh, what an awful
Nick
film.
disappeared.
But
he went to watch Minions.
So let's backtrack 1 second. So Nina moved here end of June, and I had been trying to get this girl to come to my church for so long.
I don't think I actually went. I went the first week after we went to the Titans game. The second time I went was when Kaylee was here.
2 months.
And then I started going officially regularly right after my birthday in October.
But I had been trying to get this girl to come hang out with me and my friends literally the day she moved in was a Monday. And fun fact, our church, we have a small group that goes and plays Frisbee every single Monday.
Yes.
And
at Centennial Park.
At Centennial Park, if you live in the Nashville area and you'd like to join.
Mondays at what? 6?
Mondays at 6. We'll get more confirmation from Jude
in May.
Who leads it. But anyways, I remember moving her in, and Jonah was in town, and Jonah also played Frisbee in college. So I was like,
yes.
I don't obviously I know this is a stressful time. You're moving in, but you should come to Centennial. And you both were like, we can't do that.
Definitely not.
But anyways,
it was also 102 degrees that day, and we had just moved all of that stuff up to the third floor because I live on the third floor.
Yeah, it was a very hot
crazy
day. I do remember that. But anyways, so I'd been trying to get this girl to come out for weeks, and finally I lied. Kind of, I didn't necessarily lie.
You just said, "Do you want to come to the drive-in with me tonight? I want to go see Thor."
Yeah,
like, yeah, sure.
So she shows up at my apartment, and I was so originally I had only invited Nina. I had talked to our friend Jude about going, but we hadn't established anything. And then I finally was like, so I'm gonna go to the drive-in with my friend Nina tonight. Do you want to see about getting a group together to go? And he was like, sure. And so him and his roommate Nick decided to join us, and I did not tell Nina until she was in my apartment.
So I walk in, and there's these two strange men on the couch watching Boy Meets World. And not to mention the worst episode of Boy Meets World ever.
We were watching the Lauren episode.
And I get really passionate about Boy Meets World. It's my favorite show. And the fact that I walk in, and you all are literally just watching, like, Lauren kiss Corey. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I knew. Jonah and Nina and I think that's one of the first things that Jonah and I actually bonded about was Boy Meets World. I think he asked me what my favorite, we were doing trying to get to know each other, and he was like, what's your favorite TV show? And I was like, one of them is Boy Meets World. And he went on a whole tangent. It's such a good show. But
if you need to watch that show if you've never seen it. Highly recommend.
So good. But anyways, kind of, I didn't lie. I just didn't tell her.
You just didn't tell me.
Because I've been trying to get you to come hang out with my friends for so long.
I was going through a month-long depression almost.
Yeah, which you completely moved to a new state. You barely knew anybody. It's totally understandable.
Literally, I knew you, and then I knew my aunt, my uncle, my cousins. I literally knew no one else.
Yeah, which is totally, we got,
understandable.
And we can talk about this a little bit later, but also I know from just seeing you as a friend, you've grown a lot closer with Christ in the almost year that you've been here. Yeah. And I know for me in my past, and we're going to actually do episodes dedicated to our testimony. So Nina will get to do a testimonial episode. I'll get to do a testimonial episode. But I know for me, I've dealt with depression and anxiety due to some things that's happened in my past. And it really wasn't until the last few years I've understood how to get out of those things and not let the enemy win. But anyways, you now got the tools. And I also knew before I did move, it was a thing, my friends can attest. I was like, I feel like I'm just not growing here. And, I think when you live in the same small town with, 5,000 some people in it, for 22 years, you're like, all right, come on. And not that I don't love to go back and visit, but I knew that, I was a plant that had outgrown my pot. I was a pot. I love that. Yeah. I mean, I kind of understood that. I moved to Nashville when I was 7, went to the same school from 2nd to 12th grade, and I was ready to get out. And so I'm very thankful that I got out. I met some incredible people. I love my university so much. It was some of the best 4 years of my life, and I got to meet Jonah, and through that got to meet you. But anyways, I completely understand about having to get out of your bubble and get out of we were talking about this over a completely different topic earlier this week about having to get out of our comfort zones and our bubbles. True. So that's when God really works, is when you trust him, and with the Lord guiding you. Well, yeah, but it's like the Lord telling you that you were going to move down here. You could have easily been like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know anybody. I'm going to be not okay. But you listened, and every time that I've done that, I've been so rewarded.
Yeah, and it was just ultimately like, it was a little hard, but I had known, like, from even stepping foot here, I had that just ultimate peace, and I just knew, that's where I had to be.
Yeah. But anyways, long story short,
tangent. That is how we met.
But that's how we met, and that's how I feel like we've became close. Is she started coming to the park every single Monday, and then there was 1 week where I got, from my last job, I got these free like box seats or suite seats to go see the Titans. I don't know. Neither one of us are Titans fans. I'm a New York Giant fan.
I'm a Bills fan.
And she's a Bills fan. So it was like the weirdest thing for us to be there, but it was so much fun.
Free food.
Free
drinks. Free everything.
We had a sweet, like,
air conditioned.
It was air conditioned.
It was 98
let me tell you, I saw Elton John like maybe 2 months after that in just a normal seat at Nissan Stadium, and it's not the same. And I'm about to go see Taylor Swift in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be so jealous.
Those box suites
they're so nice.
Yeah.
If you can afford them.
Once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm so thankful you brought me.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I know. We had so much fun. It was a preseason game though, so there wasn't too many people there. Who knows? Maybe in the future. But and maybe it'll be like the Bills, and then the other time it'll be the Giants. I need to see the Giants once. I've never seen the Giants.
Well, actually, the Bills aren't going to be playing here this year because the Titans sucked so bad this past year. We're not going to play them.
Well, yeah. Well, I've noticed it's kind of like an every other year thing. So, like, in 2020, the Giants came down here and played against the Titans, and then they did it in 2021, and then this past year in 2022, they did. Yeah. And I tried to get tickets so badly for me and my dad to go see them, but they were just, it was open. Of course, it was the first game of the season.
Yeah, literally.
Like the first game for both of the teams of the season. So our friend Jude got to go, and he got to sit in a nice box and like meet the guy who plays Poe from Outer Banks, just casually.
Casually meeting him.
Yeah, but hey, I have to say though, the Giants won that game. So,
well, good.
Yeah.
The Bills beat the Titans so bad. It was like 40-something to 10.
I feel so bad, like, roasting the Titans. They are so much better than how I was growing up. And, like, a lot of our friends love the Titans and everything. But, yeah, at least, our teams did okay.
Yeah.
My Giants shocked me this season.
We could have gone so much further. I don't even get me started.
So much further, for sure.
I'll go on a whole tangent.
Yeah, but anyways, long story short, that's the first Sunday you came to Eastgate was the next day, and then slowly started coming regularly, and now you're connected. You went through our like membership thing.
Thrive, yeah.
You're gonna start serving.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and I'm happy that you found our community.
Me too.
So I guess that's how we met. I guess we can kind of talk about why we decided to do this and all that. It was really random. You texted me like in August.
This was
of 2022.
This has been like a long time coming, but I feel like what we were doing has never been solidified.
You text me in August 2022, and you're like, "This is the most randomest request, but do you want to do a podcast?"
Yeah, and then I remember you sending me voice memos because I was at my friend's house. And I kept sneaking away to the bathroom to listen to them.
I love a good voice memo.
Literally, I was in her bathroom, and you're like, yeah, and we could do this, this, and this. And I was like, for sure, let's do it.
Literally.
And that was in October because that was right after my birthday. So we like started talking about it, and then it was like a more serious thing. And then
it kind of got dropped for a little bit.
It never came up.
Well, it was crazy, guys, because we both love a good TV show. We love a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a way for us to kind of, like, de-stress. Right now, we're in the middle of a 40-day fast, and neither one of us are watching movies and TV shows right now. I'm exclusively not watching streaming services. Like, I'll watch a couple things on YouTube, but it's been so hard. And I know it's been hard for you, too. Yeah. There's just so much good things that come out.
There's so many things you can do, like, when you're not watching
TV. Yeah,
TV.
that's true.
And then I feel like now I'm like, oh, but I want to watch this. And it's like, okay, I don't need to.
Yeah.
So,
I was just talking with my dad about this earlier today. I feel like, when the fast ends, I'm definitely going to go back and watch things, but I think I have more of an awareness of the distraction it causes.
Yeah.
Not just for me not spending time with God, but also just in everything. Like I used to not have time to work out. I used to not make time to go get groceries and then I'd be scrambling last minute and never have food in my apartment, and it'd be like
me right now.
I'd literally be like, I just don't have the time. And now I'm like, yeah, you do. You have the time. You just choose on Saturday mornings. The first thing you do is turn on Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. I'm also being a lot more cognizant of what I watch. So not specifically how much time, but what I am doing. Because I've also given up social media, and I've realized I would just sit and eat my like lunch or dinner or whatever. And I would literally just scroll.
Yeah.
But for what? Or I deleted TikTok a while before, but I'm not on TikTok either. But when the fast ends, I'll probably get my Instagram back. Mm-hmm. But also just with what I watch, like what things are actually feeding you. Like if you feed yourself with the Spirit and then you watch something, you're like, why am I putting this in my brain? Like, why am I allowing myself to watch it? So just being a lot more careful about what I watch.
Yeah.
Too.
For sure. But I think kind of going back on, we're both getting off track. This is literally just us talking in general. But one of our ideas was maybe we could do like a movie review podcast, and then Nina and I really bonded. I think this is when we got the most close.
I think so.
When I started watching Anne with an E.
Oh man.
What a show. If you've never watched it, it's so cringy, but it's like the best kind of cringe.
It is so good. Honestly, like it is so good, and I will say that till the day I die. I literally just told Jonah the other day to watch it. I was like, okay,
Jonah would actually like it. He'd have to get through the cringe.
I said, just get through the first episode, because the first episode is an hour and a half long.
And Gilbert's not even in the first episode.
I know, he's in the second one. So I was like, just get through the first one and you'll be fine, and then you'll love it.
Yeah, but he would like it. I think he has to get past some of the cringy moments, but he likes...
There's not a ton of them compared to other things.
He likes Julie and the Phantoms, which I find to be incredibly cringy.
He loves Julie and the Phantoms. I told him to watch it, and then he didn't listen to me, and then one of his other friends told him to watch it. And
it was Kaylee.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, well, Kaylee was watching it too, because Kaylee was the one. Both of them texted me about it during the pandemic.
And then I walk in his room the one day, and he's like watching the Edge of Great scene, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Have you ever seen this show?" I was like, "I literally told you to watch this 2 months ago, and I played you one of the songs in the car, and you ignored it."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But anyways, we were trying to decide if what if we do an Anne with an E review podcast. I was like, that's only 3 seasons though. That's not going to get us anywhere.
That's true.
So, but anyway, so like Nina said earlier, we kind of just, we knew we wanted to do this, but we didn't know why or what we wanted to talk about. We knew we needed guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, we'll pray about it. And I didn't honestly think about it for months. I think we probably dropped it around November. And then
we started talking about it. Was it right after Valentine's Day or right before Valentine's Day?
No, it was probably a couple of weeks ago, because I was driving to
right
work.
After Valentine's Day.
I was driving to work. Yeah. And I just all of a sudden just felt the Lord tell me, you're going to do this podcast with Nina, and this is what it's going to be about. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I literally said, okay, we're gonna do this. And it was crazy. It was literally right before the fast started. And I was like, okay. And I felt he was telling me, this is something the both of you need to pray about during the fast, and I'll give you guidance. I was like, okay, Lord, okay, sir, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want me to do. But yeah, and so I was, and I just felt the Lord saying, you're going to do a podcast. I'm going to give you topics, but I want everything to come back to me, and I want you to, and I feel like this is an overall theme, at least with our friend group in our church this year. Yeah. This is a year of sowing seeds and planting seeds. And the beginning of the year, one of our friends, Jude, I had a vision. We were at a prayer night of him out in a field spreading seeds out. And I think, and I will say, I felt that specifically for Jude, but I don't think I've told him this. Jude's kind of we always make jokes like Jude is the glue of our friend group, but it's true though. And he's a leader in so many ways, and hopefully we'll get him on the podcast here
Jude,
soon.
you are coming on the podcast. It's not a question.
Well, also shout out to Jude. He helped us with this jingle that you heard at the beginning. Hopefully that ended up going out well. We haven't done it yet. At least when you guys are listening to it.
When we've recorded this, we are doing
what do you bet there's
in
no,
like 4 days.
What do you bet there's no jingle?
Can you imagine us talking about a jingle and literally at the beginning there's nothing?
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I've also felt like over the last few weeks, the Lord's saying it's not just Jude, it's everyone's planting seeds. And so, I just felt like that's what this was. And so I was like, okay, Lord. And then all throughout, I just kept sending you voice memos that day. I was out. I believe it was like a Friday. I don't even know.
I don't know if it, I don't remember what day it was.
But I just kept feeling the Lord telling me more and more. And I originally was like, I feel like the Lord saying we should call it She Lives by the Spirit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, during my break at work that day, because that's how into this and how passionate I feel like it, and
I don't think I listened to any of them because I was at work.
Yeah.
And I have no service in my school building.
It's okay. But I'm sure you can agree, and I'm sure some people listening, when the Lord kind of gives you a idea or something and makes you really excited about it, you just want to start doing things.
Yes.
And so during my lunch break, I started making our logo, and then I was like, I just feel like this title's too long.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what if we shorten it to Live by the Spirit? And you're like, okay, that sounds good. And then randomly that night, I was at home doing some stuff on my computer, and I was like, I wonder, we need to have a verse. Yeah. And I was just kind of like, we need to have a verse. So I started looking some things up, and I had just read through Galatians.
Me too.
It was crazy.
So wild. Separately, we didn't even talk about it.
We didn't talk about it. But I just looked up. I was like verses about living life with the Spirit, and Galatians 5:25 was the first one that came up, which is, our verse for this podcast is, to live by the Spirit is to
keep in step with
the Spirit. Yeah. And I was like, it literally says to live by the Spirit.
Yeah.
How insane, how godly is that? Like that was like another confirmation to me that we were doing something that the Lord wanted us to do. And so so we've been just working hard, figuring out what topics we're wanting to talk about. I think we're just kind of going with the flow. We're going to try our best to be every Monday. Yeah. We'll see. I'm believing that we're going to be able to do it.
I do believe that too.
I had someone recently, I was telling them about this, and they're like, really? Every week? What if you do it once a month? And I'm like, while that would be easier, I don't think that's what the Lord wants us to do.
We got this.
Yeah. So we're just both so stoked. So I think for us, like, what to expect, we have a couple different ideas of things we're going to do. I know our next podcast is going to be kind of like a fun movie review of Jesus Revolution. We've seen it twice.
Yes.
We were both obsessed.
It's so good.
I started reading the book. I'm not done with the book yet. I start getting into the word at night, and I'm like, crap. I haven't. Well, I shouldn't say crap. I'm
getting into the word.
I'm getting into the word. No, I just mean, like, I get so into it, I forget that, like, also, I wanted to be reading this for it, but it's so good. I think the story, it's so funny, is I was born in Riverside, California, which is where Greg Laurie, The Harvest, was founded in Riverside, California. And so I feel very connected with this film. My mom lived in California when all this was happening.
The one thing that does suck is a lot of places are taking it out of theaters. Like back home in New York, it's not in theaters anymore. Crazy. It was only in theaters for 2 weeks.
That's so sad. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more next podcast about this. But that's kind of just what I think to expect. We don't, we may have some guest people come on from time to time. We may just have like a podcast of us just, I don't know, not even having a topic.
Talking about whatever.
Because
clearly we can get off of topic.
Yeah.
I literally at the beginning said, this probably won't be long, and it's already been like 28 minutes.
I will say, if you're looking for an amazing like podcast about people talking about whatever, our friends, Jen and Kirsten, have a podcast called The Whatever Podcast, and it is phenomenal.
Shameless plug for them.
We
love them.
They crack me up just in general. I love them both so much, but
they're
they
awesome.
Are just amazing. I remember one of the first ones I listened to of theirs was their Taylor Swift podcast, and Kirsten, was the supporting factor, and Jen wasn't.
See, and that's so funny because I am Jen and you are Kirsten in that situation. Like, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, and you are a huge Taylor Swift fan.
I'm seeing her in a couple weeks. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I got added to the Eras Tour channel on Instagram, so they're updating me. I am like, this is.
And not that I think she's got some great songs. And like, I don't even want to stay on this topic for long. But the fact that she's singing 40 songs at her concert.
44.
44.
It's 3 hours. Y'all.
You are going to be so tired.
I'm going to be so tired.
You better drink an Alani or a Celsius right before you go.
No. This is, so my friend Grace, who's literally another sister to me, she's coming with me. We're making it we're both taking off work because all these TikToks I'm watching of people, like, apparently they open the merch truck at noon and people get there at 10 o'clock and end up waiting 5 hours to get merch.
No, thank you.
So we're talking about getting to Nissan. I'm not joking. Probably at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're just going to make a whole Taylor Swift day out of it.
And you can't bring those drinks in. So, girl,
I will be drinking my Alani. I'll be drinking my Alani. But I think we'll do the merch first, and all that's beside the point. But yeah, no, I will say, I also kind of agree. I love Taylor Swift. I've moved here when I was 7. That's around the time. I think it was 2005. Her debut album came out that year. And I've always loved her, and I think that she has such an amazing voice. And I think I know that, there's been a couple things that, in some of her songs that I just, as a Christian, don't really love. And I know she says, she is a follower of Christ. I don't know how active she is. But I know that that's, with someone that we love and support in anything, whether they're a celebrity or just like your best friend, you want to pray over those people. And she has such an influence. This is insane. This is unprecedented. Everything that's happening right now with the Eras Tour.
She is a ginormous
and
influence.
So I think,
but it's what you choose to do with it.
But we just need to, I think, and hopefully the people on here agree, we just need to pray that, she has a spiritual encounter and she'll be able to help people. I mean, think about Joshua Bassett.
Yeah. We should probably do a whole podcast on just
we should do a podcast about Joshua Bassett. I will say, you're not on any social media. I've been following him on TikTok and stuff. I was hoping maybe he would try to put more Christ-centered things in his tour, and I'm not seeing it. Sadly, that was one thing we were talking about. We were like, this is amazing what he's doing, just proclaiming God's word and everything. Yeah. But the one thing that, and this is with anybody, this is not just with a celebrity, is but someone in a position of power like that,
I'm sorry.
Nina has a sunburn that's peeling. She's just been picking it off and
I can't.
quietly putting it down. But anyways, we're gonna do an episode about leadership, letting you down, different things. Maybe we can include part of this in there. My biggest fear with people in positions like that who find God, particularly because he's a young Christian, because he just got born again, he just got baptized, which thank you, Jesus. But a fear that I have is that these young people that are following him are going to see him doing things while he's still learning. Yeah. And they're going to think that that's okay. Or they're going to try to call him a hypocrite on certain things. Yeah. And we have to remember that he is still learning. Yes. He just got saved at the beginning of the year. He just got baptized. He is learning what the word is. He's and even Greg Laurie in the book, it said right after
in the Jesus Revolution book,
he got saved, got baptized, and then 2 days later went and got high again. Yeah. Because he didn't know. He didn't know.
Yeah, and there are so many, and I'm sure we'll get into this with our testimonies, that we've done so many things like that as well.
So, yeah. But anyways, we've gone on another tangent. It's okay.
But yeah. Anyways.
What to expect. I guess we can just kind of wrap up. I know something that I hope you guys go and do is follow us on all social media. Yes. I have a Instagram for us called @LiveByTheSpirit podcast. I have a TikTok also as well. We also have a Facebook page. Have no idea how active I'm going to be on Facebook. I'm just going to apologize for that. But yeah, so make sure to follow us. If we ever talk about some funny moment, maybe if we find the video of you surprising Jonah, I'll add it to the post or something.
I need to figure that out.
So that way
it's got to be somewhere
you guys
deep in the realm of
something. It has to be somewhere. Maybe your mom has it.
Maybe.
But if we talk about a funny moment or something, we can just I want to have a visual. We're hoping in the future also to be able to actually video record these podcasts and be able to put it may not be the cutest location right now, but who knows in the future.
My couch.
Your couch. Hey, this is a nice couch.
Hey, it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's very comfy. But anyways, so just go make sure to follow us on there.
Follow us on Spotify.
Oh yes. Hopefully if you're listening to this right now, you're on Spotify.
Yes.
Hopefully. Yes. Who knows where else we're putting this?
Hopefully Apple Music. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah,
but we'll figure it out.
But make sure to actually follow us, and just so that way you're updated when we're posting. Again, we're going to try to post every single Monday. Yes. Maybe we'll have a special episode from time to time on who knows, another day, but we'll let you guys know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to us. And I'm so excited what God is about to do for us in this. So yeah,
I agree.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
We'll see you next Monday.
See ya.